Edward, what are you doing? Come back here. I need to talk to you. Edward, please, what is going on? You need to tell me. Bella, trust me. You want nothing to do with me. What do you mean, Edward? Of course I do. This is the skin of a killer, Bella. Hey everyone, it's me, Tiger, and welcome back to Heartopia. Today I'm recreating the Cullen house from Twilight right here in the game, and I am so excited about this build challenge. And I was one of 12 creators to participate in Heartopia's World Expo build challenge. I recreated the Palace of Versailles in Heartopia, and I think it turned out amazing, but you'll have to go check out the video and let me know what you think. Heartopia is a cute new life sim that is all about creativity and living your best life. This game has some of the best customization I've seen in a while, and I could spend forever decorating in Heartopia. It is so much fun. I love Twilight. I'm a huge fan. This past October, I even went to see the first movie live with an orchestra and candlelight, which was honestly one of the coziest experiences ever. Listen, I love vampires, werewolves, and those dark, moody forest vibes, and that's not something I usually do on this channel. Normally, I'm all about building with pastel pinks, lots of vibrant colors, so stepping into a darker, modern aesthetic feels really refreshing. Plus, the Cullen house has such a unique shape and design, so I know that this build will be a very fun challenge. If you enjoy cozy gaming and creative build videos like this, you're in luck. I post daily-ish shorts and weekly-ish videos, so be sure to subscribe and join your fellow cozy gamers. Don't forget to play Heartopia. The game is out now, and I've linked it in the video's description, and thank you to Heartopia for sponsoring this video. Now let's channel our inner vampires and start building Edward's house together here in Heartopia. We've got this completely empty plot here in Heartopia, and by the end of this video, it is going to be transformed into the Cullen house from Twilight. But before we even think about building, we need to address something very important. I cannot build Edward Cullen's house if I am not Bella Swan. Luckily, Heartopia has some of the cutest character customization ever, and I'm honestly obsessed with the outfits and accessories in this game. They are so cute. So of course I had to fully commit to the Bella Swan look, low-rise jeans, Converse type shoes, and a cozy flannel, because that is the Bella uniform, and as much as I love my classic pink bob, I had to switch it up and go with darker long hair so I could really sell the Bella look, which is kind of funny because this is exactly what my hair looks like in real life. Anyways, now that I am officially Bella Swan, emotionally unprepared, and ready to fall in love with a vampire, I think it's finally time to start building Edward's house. Heartopia actually just released, so I am still a newer player, but I've already built the Palace of Versailles in this game. It was for Heartopia's World Expo, and I would say I've gotten pretty familiar and comfortable with the build mode. And if you haven't seen that video yet where I built the Palace of Versailles, you should definitely check it out after this one. Heartopia's build mode is honestly amazing. Everything feels really intuitive, and you can move around easily, place items smoothly, and build pretty much anything you can dream of, which makes creating builds like this one so much fun. At first glance, you might not think that building the Cullen house would be that challenging. The design is very modern and pretty blocky, and usually those types of shapes are way easier to work with in video games, but honestly this build ended up being more difficult than I expected because the Cullen house has such a unique layout, and getting the proportions right was definitely the hardest part. It's one of those buildings where everything looks simple, but if even one section is slightly off, the whole thing just doesn't feel right. So instead of overthinking it, I decided to break down the house into simple shapes. I started with a rough draft using basic walls and floors, just trying to block everything out without worrying about the details yet. At this stage, it looked very unfinished, but trust the process. The house ended up being 3 stories tall, and once I stepped back to compare it to my references, it was actually looking surprisingly close to the real thing, even though it still felt a little awkward and empty. The overall shape was at least making sense though, which was super reassuring at this point. I started customizing the exterior walls and experimenting with different textures to match the look of Edward's house. And when I tell you that Heartopia had the perfect wooden planks for this house, I was genuinely so excited. They matched the vibe so well, the color was great, and immediately it made the build look way more realistic. To add more depth and visual interest, I started placing these wooden wall sculptures along the exterior. They added just enough texture to keep the walls from feeling really flat without taking away from that clean, modern aesthetic. I also used stone wall sculptures to create the garage area, which helped break up the materials even more and gave the house more detail. And then came the windows, which is honestly the moment where everything started to click. As soon as I began adding them, the building really came to life. It finally started resembling the Cullen house, and I could see the vision coming together. I was getting so excited at this point because it already looked so cool too. After that, I added the front door and built out a small simple porch with some additional flooring, and from there it was all about experimenting. I kept adjusting window placements, trying different colors and styles, adding more wall sculptures, and making small tweaks until the exterior felt right. It took a lot of trial and error, but eventually everything did come together and the building had that iconic Cullen house vibe. At this point, I was honestly so happy with how the exterior turned out. It matched my references really closely, and seeing it fully built in Heartopia was so satisfying. But now it was finally time to move on to decorating the inside of the Cullen house because I am not gonna leave this empty, and building this as Bella Swan genuinely made the experience so much fun. The whole time I was just reminiscing about the movies, the soundtrack was basically playing in my head, and I was fully in my Twilight era again. I was so excited to build this in a Heartopia and, you know, maybe summon my own Edward Cullen. Anyways, back to decorating the inside. I started with the first floor and created a living room inspired by the house in the movies. And I added a staircase leading up to the second story, which I kind of decorated like Edward's room. I kept it a little more minimal and moody, and of course I made sure it had access to the balcony. And once everything was fully decorated and all the little details were in place, it was finally time for the best part, a final walkthrough of the entire build. It's a few days after I built the Cullen house in Heartopia, and I am going to give you a final walkthrough. I'm so excited to show you how this turned out. I feel like the outside looks so good. It looks exactly like the Cullen house from the movies. I seriously feel like Bella Swan right now. This doesn't even feel like Heartopia anymore. I feel like I'm right in the movie. I did add these like little garden things on the outside to add a little bit more detail, and some flooring out here to make the garage look a little bit more realistic. And of course we have all of the different sections of the house with the modern windows. I did change the color of these to like match the wood exterior, so I think everything looks really good on the outside. This is the porch. I feel like it could use a little bit more support than just this one like structure, but I don't know. I'm not an architect, okay? I'm trying my best here. It might not be fully supported, but it's okay. If we head inside the house, we can check out the living room. This is very loosely inspired by the movie. We just have like a little chair here and some bookshelves, some paintings on the wall, and yeah, you can see through all the windows out into the town. It looks really pretty, and there is a staircase that goes up here. Oops, I fell down. This is supposed to be Edward's room. I know it's very minimal. Edward doesn't sleep, so he literally just has this like chase thing right next to the window. He's got some bookshelves around, a little lounge area, and of course the balcony, so you can go out here and look into the city, or you can check out this really pretty view from the balcony. I love this so much. I feel like this build turned out so good. It looks very much like the movie. I don't know about the inside. The inside isn't as accurate, but the outside definitely looks amazing. I mean, the inside looks amazing too. It just might not be as accurate, okay? Now that I'm Bella Swan, I think it's time to summon my own Edward Cullen. Okay, so how do you summon a vampire? Tappy tap, Google, texting. Edward Cullen, if you can hear me, please appear. Why do I feel like this was a bad idea? Oh my gosh, it worked. Wait, why is he actually kinda scary? Edward, what are you doing? Come back here. I need to talk to you. Edward, please, what is going on? You need to tell me. Bella, trust me, you want nothing to do with me. What do you mean, Edward? Of course I do. This is the skin of a killer, Bella. I just wanted a cute vampire boyfriend. Why does he have to be so intense? Wait, Edward, come back. This is not how it happened in the movie. Wait, I'm directing this. We can just be cute. Thank you so much for joining me as we constructed the Cullen house from Twilight here in Heartopia. Be sure to play Heartopia if you haven't already. The game is out now. It is so much fun. I know that we focused on vampires and building in this episode, but there is so much to do in the world of Heartopia. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any in the future. And check out my Palace of Versailles video. If you haven't seen that build challenge, you definitely don't want to miss it. A special thanks to my channel members. Your extra support is so much appreciated. Thank you very much. And thank you all for tuning in to another video here on the channel, and I will see you next time. Bye!